Okay, so here at Waverly Hills, and I'm just gonna make a quick video. It's still light outside, and it's around 9 o'clock, getting ready to be dark. But this is the morgue in Waverly Hills, and you can see that I got 3 for bodies there, and you got the old gurneys here, and so this is where the morgue, where they would have, of course, embalmed them, drained their blood, that kind of thing. As far as I know, this is still the embalming tables right here, and you got the old sink. And this building was built in 1920s, and they had an elevator in here. I know they got a couple of elevators, I remember. And this is where if someone would die, they would bring them down the elevator, and then they would, roll them out down the hallway into where the body chute was at. And that's where they would have taken them down the hill. So this right here is the first floor. So we'll just take a quick walk through here. And this stairway right there. Now all this stuff on the walls and everything, I mean, it's on there because of this first floor they used for the Halloween. And they lock all these doors down here, but all the other floors are pretty much open. Their Halloween haunted house in October, I know it brings in a lot of money. There's a lot of renovation. I mean, it would take just no time and millions of dollars to even try to restore something like this. They're never going to be able to totally restore it, but they are. I'd put a new roof on it and slowly putting all the windows in it. So it just takes a lot of time, a lot of money. Now there's a room that's open down here. So as long as the door's not locked, I mean, you can pretty much, go in that room. Now, here we're getting into, this is the main entrance, and this is where the guest would have come into, where you would have signed in right here. And I did an outside video showing, but this is where you would have come in, met the receptionist, and coming into Waverly Hills, signed in. I know that is a stairway that goes up. And I'm just going to walk around and kind of show you a little bit. I know down here, I think it's over there, there is a vault. That's where they would have stored, I guess, things worth a lot of money. So right here is their vault. I know the story is, I think it's a true story, to where somebody got locked in there over the weekend and might have died in there. That would have been back, when the place was fully operational. Like I say, pretty much all this first floor is for their haunted house. Okay. Looks like there's some doctors and there's a nurse. So at one time, this place, you're talking about it was, well ahead of its time. And when it was built in the 20s, and the tuberculosis epidemic. So which way do I want to go up here? I think I'm going to go up the stairway in here. Then I can walk. So I'm just going to turn this off for now. Well, maybe I'll just get it going for a little bit. Now, when they first come in here, the Maddenleys who took over the building, they had to remove all the asbestos in here, and that took a while. So I can feel, as I got up to the second story, I could feel it got a lot hotter. Now, let's take a walk around. So there's only like, there's like 12 people here tonight, and this is a private ghost investigation, I guess you could call it. And so basically, 12 people in this building, pretty nice. There's not a whole lot of people you're going to see. And during a public investigation, I mean, you're talking about, I don't know if they have 50 to 75 people. I think like probably like 75, but it's a lot more people. So 12 makes it really nice to walk around. Now, at one time, this building sat vacant for many years before the Maddenleys took it over, and it sat vacant. Kids would come in here. I know, I spoke to people who used to come in here. And that was, I think it was back in the 80s, early 70s, that kind of thing. And they would party in here, teenagers party, have a good time, sneaking in here. But this place got security cameras all over it now and everything. But you can see here, this place was very modern at the time, but I do know that what these is, for back in the 1920s, they could plug in and they had headphones and they could listen to radio stations and music through that. I was told that before. And that was very modern for the 20s. I forgot how much money it cost to build this building. It was quite a bit, of course. And, it's solid brick. So then you got your concrete floors, that kind of thing. You hear somebody using the drone outside. So right here it goes down, at the end of it, it goes down to stairways. So they had the rooms on both sides, okay? So you had the room there and you had a room over here. But back then, when there was research in tuberculosis, they thought the fresh air helped them. In reality, I don't think it really did anything, but that's what they thought. And so what they would do is they would bring the patients out here and they would line them up, beds out here. And I even seen photos where they would put them out here even in the wintertime, and they would have like snow out here. But if you was really sick, I guess, I'm saying, you probably want to be out here, being able to look out here like this. Especially if you had the tuberculosis really bad. And of course, when they originally built this, it was, most people died from it. Not everyone, but a lot of people died from it. And it wasn't until they came out with penicillin and, that really stopped it, because they started giving them, penicillin, antibiotics. And basically, it went away basically then. Now, I know this place was also used for a while. I don't know how many years, but it used for like a old folks home. A doctor had bought this had turned it into a old folks home for a little bit. But then my understanding is, I think, they come in and, they looked and they weren't being taken care of very well. And so basically they condemned it and they shut it down. And then it sat vacant for several years. And that's when the people who own it now, the Manleys, took it over. Now, they've had it for many years now. I don't know exactly how many years, but probably 25 or going on 30 now. But they they got it, and then they started replacing. There's a lot of windows on the outside that's been replaced, but you can see that, how many windows and stuff are gone right here. And, you can imagine the enormous, there's no way you're ever going to be able to replace and rebuild all this stuff. But what they tried to do several years ago so I'm trying to think what floor it is. I guess it's the first floor, but they was going to turn part of it into a restaurant and so many bed and breakfast rooms. But they had people that was going to back it. I think this was back around 2008. We had that bad recession, and they backed out of it. So they're still keeping the upkeep on it. They keep replacing windows. They replaced the roof, and they did that, replace the roof, from not leaking in. And if they hadn't come in here, it would just be, of course, basically falling down. But it's a good thing that somebody wants to keep this for history. And way of doing that is have historical tours and private investigations and all that kind of thing. I've been in this room before here, and this is a very active room. Remember, I was here, I think it was the last time, and I forgot if there was a woman who passed away in here, and this was a very active room, and then we get responses on the K2 meter and stuff like that. So you can see there, they got some windows, that kind of thing there. And you can see, out through there, all the windows they replaced outside. There's so many windows. And these big windows, they're going to cost a lot of money. So, but they're, slowly trying to put money back into it, that kind of thing. Just to keep the building, somewhat, in decent condition. Now out here you got, this is a big room. I forgot what they use this room for, but it's like an open area, I guess, for people to congregate in. But you can see out through here, this goes out into the balcony, which overlooks the parking lot. And this is where they allow people, if they want to, they can go out on that balcony and smoke. But you cannot smoke in this building. So over here, we're going to walk over here, and this. Okay, so this hallway goes into, well, if we can open it up. Okay, it's air conditioned on this side. This is where they was renting it back years ago, and they still are, but they was renovating this area, and this is where they would plan on turning this section into like a restaurant and, bed and breakfast or whatever. But, after all the backing backed out back then, they basically just stopped. I think they're still working on it, but, it's just a slow go, that kind of thing. Now here, when they have events here, they'll have it in this big room right here. And this room, my understanding, was actually the cafeteria. And you can see how, big it is. When the guy from the Ghost Adventures, Nick Groth, was here like 2 or 3 years ago, this is where they had the presentation at, and all these chairs in here set up, and they had, meet and greet and that kind of thing. I got to come to that, which was very interesting. And so, as you can see, yeah, this area right here is where they had planned to originally, like I say, turn it into a restaurant and a bed and breakfast. And it's too bad that, you know, they had backed out. Of course, the coffin here, that's from, you know, the haunted house, that kind of thing. It goes out to the parking lot. Okay. And this is, you got the bathrooms. There's the 2 bathrooms that work. So I'm going to turn this video off and I'm going to record some more on some different levels. So it's pretty much the 2nd floor at Waverly Hills, what I just walked around. And you can see how much square feet this is, quite a bit.